Okay, back today with part 2 to yesterday's story that I, may or may not have left you guys on a cliffhanger. Yeah, my bad. Like I said, I wanted to give this its own video because it's like, it's two different things that happened and I could have put it all in one, but I don't know. I just felt like it should be two. So if you haven't seen yesterday's story, I highly recommend you go watch that because it is directly correlated to this one and you really won't understand the full scope of craziness here unless you watch that. So I will leave that in the description. Definitely go watch that. It's worth it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Before I get into it, just want to say I dropped a new song recently. It's called I'm On One. I'm going to be self-promoting this thing for a little bit, guys. I got to do it. But yeah, if you haven't heard my music before, go check this new one out. If you have heard it before and you like my old stuff, you'll probably like this one. So yeah, go check that out. Anyway, today's story time. Let's jump into it. Leave a like on the video if you do. Let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place literally like 2 weeks after the last story time. So it was 2017. At this point, nothing was happening in my life that was of any interest. Literally, the most recent interesting thing that happened was the fact that my ex-girlfriend's mom was threatening to sue me or whatever, and she showed up to my house and was, threatening me, and she typed up that fake cease and desist. But after me and her had talked, and I basically said to her your cease and desist was fake as hell, you can't sue me because I didn't do anything wrong, and she stormed off my porch, I didn't hear anything back. I didn't hear anything else about getting sued. Didn't hear anything. And honestly, I thought it was over. I thought that was the end of it. I thought it was just, okay, she threatened to sue me. She showed up to my house a couple times. She was angry. And then she stormed off and, she was just threatening me. It was all bark, no bite. She wasn't going to do anything. That's what I thought, right? I truly thought she wouldn't do anything. Boy, was I fucking wrong. So yeah, a couple weeks had gone by at this point. And this all starts off like any normal day back then. I woke up pretty late in the day. My sleep schedule was pretty cooked. I think I woke up at 4 p.m. I made a YouTube video, got that done, took a shower afterwards because I hadn't showered yet that day. And yeah, I just kind of started my day very late, right? Well, most of that day was pretty boring. Nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing too weird, nothing too crazy. It wasn't until later that night where the story time really starts. So I think it was about 10 or 11 p.m. My mom heads off to bed. She went to bed earlier than she usually does. And I'm just on my Xbox. I was playing Call of Duty with some friends, a couple IRL friends, couple online friends, just having a good time, right? Now, the way that my setup was at my mom's house in my bedroom was I had my setup up against the wall, and to the left of me, my window was right there, and I could look out into the street of my neighborhood. And I'd see cars drive by all the time, right? All the time. Any time of day, any time of night, there'd be a car driving by usually. And this was no different. Cars were driving by here and there. I wasn't really paying too much attention. But then I noticed something. So in between one of my games, I had my controller on my desk and I was just leaning back in my chair on my phone. And then I just kind of started staring out my window because I was bored and I was just kind of, daydreaming. And I see this car drive by. And it looks just like my ex-girlfriend's mom's car. She had this SUV. It was a Mitsubishi Outlander, I believe. And it was black. And I remember I saw one drive by and I looked at it and I was like, huh, that was definitely a Mitsubishi Outlander. And it looked like her car because she had these stickers on the back, the back window. And I saw stickers on the back window of this one, but it was so dark outside and the streetlights were only so, lit up that I couldn't really make out what they said. If I could see the stickers in clearer, light, I would have known for sure, but I couldn't see them that well. Anyway, 5 minutes later, I see this same car drive by again, the same Outlander. And I was like, what the hell? Why are they driving through the same street again? Are they lost or something? And then they drive by a third fucking time. And each time I'm trying to get a better look at this car, but it was just so dark out I couldn't. And it kind of sketched me out. Now, after the third time, this car didn't drive by again. And for the next couple hours, it was nothing. Nothing happened. I was just chilling there, playing games still, right? Well, then it gets pretty late. I think it's about 2 or 3 in the morning at this point. It's very late. And I am on my Xbox, still doing the same thing I was doing a few hours prior, just playing games with my friends on a call. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, down my street, I see that fucking Mitsubishi Outlander creeping down my street. And immediately I turned my light off in my room and I turned my TV off because I knew if I had light in my room with my blinds open that car would see me in my room. And I wanted to be able to look at them without them looking at me because I wanted to see what they were doing. And that car creeps down my street real slowly, right? And then it stops right in front of my house. And now I'm starting to freak out a little bit. Because, before, it just drove by a few times, And that could have meant anything, They could have been looking for like a friend's house and they were lost. They could have been like teaching someone to drive and that's why they were going in a circle. That kind of thing, right? But now, hours later, at like 3 a.m., this car creeped down my street and parked right in front of my house pretty much. And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at right now? Like, what is this person about to do? Like, who is this? And there was a part of my brain that was like, is it my ex-girlfriend's mom? But then I thought about it and I was like, there's no way she is that like dedicated and hates me that much that she's going to drive out to my house at 3 a.m. and like park outside and like creep on me, But also like all the alternatives also sounded terrifying because if it wasn't my ex-girl's mom, it could have been a thief, like someone trying to rob me. It could have been, a creepy person from the internet that found out where I live. I was getting pretty terrified. Now, I tried to tell myself, like, all right, man, chill out. Like, maybe they're just parking their car there on the side of the street and they're going to get out and then walk to your neighbor's house or something. Like, maybe it's one of your neighbor's friends and they're just parking there. Because that happens sometimes, And I get worried about stuff kind of irrationally sometimes. So I was trying to talk myself down. Well, all of a sudden, I see the driver's side door swing open and I see somebody getting out of that car and they are not dressed like somebody that's going to hang out with a friend. They are wearing all black tracksuit type shit, a black hoodie, hood up, and then a bandana around their face. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going out to a neighborhood at 3 a.m. with a bandana around my face to go hang out with a friend. So, yeah, I see this and I'm like, oh shit, that person is in my neighborhood, like trying to rob somebody. Now, even though they parked outside of my house, I didn't know if they were going to rob me, I didn't know if they were there for me. But as they got out of their car and they started walking, they start heading towards my driveway and they start heading towards my brother's car. Now, keep in mind, at this time, I didn't drive. I didn't have a car. It was just my mom's car and my brother's car in the driveway. So this robber, thief, whatever, they were targeting those. Now, the first thing the thief did was they walked up to my brother's car, tried to open the handle. It was locked. Then they went up to my mom's car, tried to open the handle. It was locked. Now, at this point, I should have been on the phone with the police. I should have been on the phone with the police to begin with when I was getting sketched out and they were parking their car there. But I wasn't on the phone with them yet. And I wasn't really thinking clearly. And I just wanted this person to be gone right now. So I opened my window up and I flick my light on and I go, get the fuck out of here. And this thief sees me in the window and immediately says, oh shit, and then turns around and starts running back to their car. Now here's the weird part. The voice, when I heard the words, oh shit, surprised me. I didn't recognize the voice because it was so far away and, it was hard to hear it perfectly. But I did recognize one thing. This was a female's voice, not a male's. It was a higher pitched voice. And I was like, okay, that's strange. Like, didn't expect them to be female, right? Now, at this point, I was so anxious and just so, caught up in this. I didn't even really start to think about who it could be. I just ran into my mom's room and I woke her up and I was like, Mom, someone just tried to, get into our cars, some thief. They were scoping out our house. I saw them drive by a few times and then I scared them away, but, I don't know what to do. And my mom's like, are they still there? And, she jumped up out of bed, ran into my room, looked out the window, but it was too late. They had already drove off. Now, immediately, my mom jumps on the phone with one of her, police officer friends and was like, hey, this person just tried to, rob our cars. What should we do? Should we call you guys out here? What should we do? And this cop was, kind of bad at his job, in my opinion, or, just very, pessimistic. He was like, yeah, these things happen a lot. They happen all the time. Unless the person's still there actively committing the crime, it's going to be pretty hard to catch them because we don't know who they are, what they look like. He basically said, because it was just someone trying to open our car doors, that they're probably not going to put a bunch of resources into finding this person, and essentially did not bother calling the police, which was kind of crazy to hear from a cop, but whatever, right? So yeah, my mom just didn't call the cops because her friend was like, yeah, there's no need. And I think she still should have, but whatever, right? Whatever. So the rest of that night, we were all kind of on edge. My mom, me, my brother, we were kind of looking out the windows, hard to fall back asleep because we didn't know if that person was going to come back and try and break into our shit again, Well, finally, at about 6 a.m, I finally fell asleep, right? And I woke up about 2 hours later at 8 a.m. to my phone ringing. And I literally picked up the phone without even looking at the caller ID. I just swiped and wasn't even really looking. My eyes were barely open. And I was like, hello. And I hear my ex's voice go, Austin, did I wake you up? I'm sorry. And And I was like, oh, hey, like, what's up? And she was like, yeah, weird question, like really weird question. And I'm hoping the answer is no here. But was my mom at your house last night? And immediately I like spring awake, like instantly wakes me up because like there was someone at my house last night trying to rob our cars. And I was like, someone was at my house last night, but I don't know who. They were trying to get into my brother's and my mom's car, and they were driving the same car as your mom. So are you telling me that your mom tried to come here last night and like get into our cars and rob us? And she was like, are you fucking with me right now? And I was like, no, are you fucking with me right now? And she's like, what do you mean someone was trying to break into your car? Like, what happened? And I was like, I was in my room on my game, chilling in a call, and this Mitsubishi Outlander came driving down my street multiple times, like scoping the street out. And then at like 3 a.m, it came back and it parked outside my house. And this person got out wearing a bandana and like a black tracksuit with their hood up. And they were trying to get into my mom and my brother's car. And it sounded like a woman's voice. So like, are you telling me it was your mom? And we were both kind of in disbelief at this point. And she was like, there's no way my mom is that crazy. Like, I know she's crazy, but like that crazy, I just don't believe my mom could do that. And I was like, yeah, I would like to think the same thing. And then I was like, why are you asking me if like she was here last night? Like, what evidence do you have that she was here? And she's like, well, my mom went out last night with some friends for her birthday. And I checked her location to see if she was coming home because I have her location. And it was on your street. And the bar they were at was not anywhere near where you live. So like, there's no reason she should have been over there. She also shouldn't have been driving. She said that she was going to leave her car at the bar and like Uber home. So the fact that she was over at your house, like that's not good. And I was like, all right, hold on. What time did you check her location? Because if you checked her location around the time that I saw that person at my house, like that kind of confirms it. And she's like, I don't know. I wasn't really looking at the clock. I wasn't really looking. Like it was late though. It was definitely after like 2 a.m. And I was like, so around the time that I saw that person then. And she was like, I guess, yeah. I was like, all right, listen, why don't you call your mom, get some details, try and confirm this, and then give me a call back. She's like, all right, I will. I was like, all right, good luck. And she hangs up. At this point, I'm wide awake. I'm not going back to sleep because it's like, what the fuck is going on? At this point, it was like 99.9% confirmed that it was her mom. Like literally my ex-girlfriend checked her mom's location and it was on my street at a similar time to when I saw this person trying to rob us. Now, about 5 minutes later, my ex calls me back, and I answer, and she's crying. She's in tears. So I knew that I was about to get some bad news. And she was like, it was her. She just admitted it. And I was in disbelief. I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, why? Did she say why she was trying to, like, rob me? And she's like, well, she didn't say she was trying to rob you. She wanted to get into your mom or your brother's car and try and find something that was important to you and then use it to, like, blackmail you to take that video down. So this was like a new level of like dedicated hater, bro. Like it's one thing to be like, hey, take that video down, but to try and steal something that's important to me, to hold it over my head as blackmail, to get me to delete something, that's like next level evil shit, bro. I was like so mad when I heard this, and so was my ex. Like she was obviously really sad, but also like really furious. So now we were kind of at like a crossroads. Like on one hand, I probably could have called the cops and told them everything, and they probably would have went and like talked to her about it. But I don't think it would have done a lot of good because, like, she didn't steal anything. She didn't break into our car, right? So, like, they probably wouldn't have done much. So we thought of another idea. So apparently her mom had needed counseling for a long time, like mental health counseling, because she's just been getting more and more, like, I don't know, like angry and irrational. And I guess, like, my ex had been trying to get her mom into counseling for a very long time, and so had her brother. So we came up with a plan. My ex came over to my house that day. She came over. We recorded a vlog together. Like we literally went to the mall and just like recorded a vlog. And like she was in it. Her face was in it. My face was in it. Like we were hanging out. And I edited it. I finished it. And I sent her the video. And she showed her mom and said, hey mom, I made this video with Austin. If you don't get some fucking counseling and apologize to him for what you did, we're putting this video up on his channel. Because my ex knew that, like, her mom would hate that. Like I said, her mom hated my videos and hated my channel. And, like, I mean, she literally hated me so much, she showed up to my house 2 times to threaten to sue me. And then she tried to break into my family's cars over just mentioning her daughter in a story time. So imagine how angry she probably was when her own daughter showed her a vlog of her in my video with her face, like, hanging out with me. Yeah. It was bad, bro. I got a call within 5 minutes of my ex showing her this video. yeah, she called me and I answered the phone and she was like, Austin, it's me. I just want to say I'm sorry for what I did, truly. And I will be getting counseling for my anger management. And I was like, good. I fucking hope so. Like, what you did is not okay. Like, you're lucky I didn't call the fucking cops. Or like, what if my neighbors saw you trying to break into our cars? Like, what if they came out with a weapon or something? Like, you don't know who's capable of what. Like, you shouldn't be trying that shit. That's not okay. And she was like, I know. I have an anger problem. I've had it for a long time. I'm going to get help. And I was like, okay. And I hung up. Because at that point, I didn't really believe her. I'm not going to lie. But I will say, it worked. She actually got into counseling. Like, apparently my ex and her dad, they set the mom up with some counselor, and like she went for years, and she might still be in it for all I know. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it. But it didn't really do a whole lot for me, in my opinion, because the damage was kind of already done. Like, she already invaded our privacy and like was really, really like kind of like weird. But I am happy for my ex's sake, like in her peace of mind at home, that her mom was getting counseling. Because like dealing with it from a distance was already hard enough for me. I can only imagine being my ex and living with someone like that. Like, if I had to live with that lady as my mother, nah, I'd be in a fucking mental asylum. But yeah, on my old PC, there was an entire 10-minute vlog of me and my ex hanging out at the mall and just like kicking it, having a nice day, because we wanted to get back at her mom and make her kind of like realize that she has an issue with her anger and should probably get help. By the way, it was my girlfriend's idea to be like, hey, you got to get counseling. Like, my idea was just like, oh, like, we'll make this video and like, we'll just like threaten to post it, but we won't actually. I didn't have any actual intention to post the video. But my girl, on the other hand, was like, nah, if she doesn't like get into a counselor and like apologize to you, we're fucking posting it. So that video actually almost happened, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, somewhere on my old PC, there is a vlog and it exists. I mean, I guess if her mom ever comes back and tries to do some crazy shit again, I'll post it. But as of now, it's going to keep laying dormant on my computer. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the end of the story. I'd say it was a pretty happy ending. I didn't get messed with anymore by her mom. Her mom got counseling and seemed to improve, according to my ex. My ex said she was doing a lot better after a few months. And I got an apology. So I guess, all in all, everything was okay. And that's that. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Take his 401k and I'll put it on my wrist. Only why to sell my fit. Still I pop these pills and fuck my life up. Yeah, I'll take a sip.